What's going on, everyone? So, per Shams yesterday made a report that said LeBron James plans to commit to Team USA next summer, along with Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum, and Draymond Green. Separately, Phoenix, Devin Booker, Portland's Damian Lillard, Sacramento's De'Aaron Fox, and Dallas's Kyrie Irving also have serious interest in committing, league sources say. This is exactly what I talked about. So yesterday I made a video and released a video saying that, one, I thought that the guys for Team USA, the A team, they need to step up and they need to kind of back up their words, right? You had Noah Lyles, who was talking about how it's not a world championship and blah, blah, blah. And you saw Kevin Durant and all these stars basically say, you're silly, you don't know what you're talking about. And again, I do understand the sentiment of they're not playing against other countries, but all the best players from these other countries are a part of the NBA. NBA is by far and away the greatest league in the world, and it is a global sport. And I understand the argument of, oh, well, they're not playing, Spain and all these other countries. It wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't. I mean, the B team for Team USA ran outside of like the top three teams that basically all finished a medal. Outside of those teams, all the teams that they played, they ran through by like 40 points. You don't think that our A team, because you're not talking about like, oh, maybe like LeBron plays. No, you're talking about every single game. It would be the best players in the NBA all on one team to take on the world. And yes, some of the best players in the NBA are Luka and Giannis and, Jokic and stuff like that. But they're not teaming up together to take on the USA. They would be going to their respective countries and they would have to face the entire US. And we've seen every time the US takes it seriously, they win. Every time the US actually puts their best players out there, they win. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And I said in this video that I made yesterday that if LeBron commits and LeBron says, I'm going to do it, which has been rumored and talked about, you made the little tweet or whatever, right? Or X. I don't even know what those are called. But anyway, point is that I said if LeBron commits, everyone else will follow suit. Everybody, right? Granted, bearing injury, of course. If like Steph gets hurt this year or AD or, KD or Booker or whomever, then I don't see them joining Team USA. But if everyone that can commit is healthy and LeBron is good and he says, I'm going to go and play for Team USA and go win this gold medal and stop this conversation of, oh, this is, whatever, then everyone's going to follow. KD will be there. Steph will be there. All of them will be there if LeBron goes. And what's going to happen is Team USA is going to run through everybody and this conversation will be a moot point. Because I get it. You had all the talk, you had all the chirping, and Team USA didn't even place in a medal, right? Do you really believe Germany, with Dennis Schroeder, who just won the MVP and just won the gold medal, do you really believe that Germany team could even beat like the Denver Nuggets or the Phoenix Suns or the Lakers or, the Clippers if healthy, or basically the top 20 teams in the league? Do you think that Germany team could beat those teams? I don't. And then you're going to put together all these top guys and have them come together to go and play. Like, do you think that Germany team that just won the gold, do you think that they could beat a starting five of, I don't know, let's say Steph Curry, Devin Booker, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Anthony Davis? Or do you think that Germany team loses by like 50? Like, again, there is the reason you can't play these other countries is because it would be the most boring sport in the entire world. Nobody wants to see, the Team USA win the championship every single year and just beat every team in the world by 50 points. You want to have like that feeling of that. I mean, even like all sports. The Dallas Cowboys just beat the Giants 40-0, and when it was like 33-0, everyone changed the channel and all the fans already had started to leave because it's boring. I don't need to continue to watch these guys just get demolished. What else is on? Baseball. If a team is up 20-0 in runs, you're not watching that. You're changing the channel. Is there another game on? Is there something else on? What else could I watch? Soccer. If the team's up 7-0, you're turning it off. It's boring. There's a blowout. That's what this would be. It would be a total embarrassment year in and year out. It would take a ridiculously detrimental pandemic amongst Team USA for them not to win every single year. And then people would be like, it's not fair. They need to divvy up things and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's what we have right now. We have that. If you're good enough to play in the NBA, if you're one of the best players in the world, guess what? You're in the NBA. All the best players on all of these teams. And even Germany had NBA guys, right? Like, it's not like a team that had 0 NBA guys won anything, right? Like, all these top teams have NBA guys. And those guys are usually pretty decent in the NBA, right? And yes, the world is caught up, right? Again, we're not like, the world is good enough to beat our B team. Or, I mean, in some cases, you can make an argument that was even the C team. But the point is that they're like, the world is good enough to where we have to have at least a couple A guys. Like, I think if we had that roster and like the roster we had, and you just had like Steph, LeBron, and KD on it, I think we win the gold. Right? I do. Like, I don't think you need the Avengers to go and handle and win FIBA or, win the World Cup or win the Olympics. I just think you need, like, again, like if you had that exact same roster and you threw on LeBron, KD, and AD to where they actually had like a legit center that could block shots and go just dominate, and you had LeBron and you had KD, or let's say you even remove LeBron and KD, if you just had like Booker, and like the best player was Anthony Edwards. And don't get me wrong, he's great, but he's also like, what, 23? Right? Like, and there's, I think he's the best player on the Timberwolves, but some people could argue, and I understand the argument that he's not even the best player on his team, right? And like, who was the second best player? Austin Reeves, right? It's not a competition if our real guys get involved, which is part of the reason why. But you got to have these guys committed. And the thing is that and people also forget, we're also the defending champs, right? But it's more of the conversation because of the Noah comments and, and all the chirping, and then all these guys talking about like, oh, like this guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. People that think this way, blah, blah, blah. And you got all this stuff. And then you had the B team go and they finally went to tournament play, right? Because they were undefeated in exhibitions. And they go to tournament play and then they lose more games than they win. And it's like, whoa, right? And it's like the narrative completely changed and shifted. It's like, see, look, it's not that great. But the reality is it is. The reality is like all that did was just to make LeBron go, all right, we need to show these people what this really is, and silence everyone. And what's going to happen is LeBron is going to commit, and if he commits, everyone else is going to commit, and then we're going to have, the Redeem Team too, and they're going to go and they're just going to run through everybody and beat everybody by 40, like what always happens when we have our A team. And it's going to be cake. And everyone's going to say, oh, see, look, we are the best team in the world. And we are all that. Because again, we have the best players in the world. We do. It's not a competition. I mean, you have guys like Ricky Rubio, who was considered one of the greatest European players ever, and comes over to the NBA finally. And he was good, but he wasn't he was never a top even 20 player. You've had lots of guys that have came over. I mean, Tony Kukoc was the Michael Jordan of Europe and stuff like that. It came over and was just like a role guy in the NBA. I mean, look, he was very good, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't like this super duper star like he was overseas. There's been tons of players that have been just unfair in these other leagues, and they come to the NBA and they're just another guy. Like sometimes they're not even starters. And it's just, again, name me a league's best team that could beat like the Denver Nuggets of this year. I don't like. There have been teams that like this Lakers team I think could run through the entire world. I think like the Warriors team with like KD runs through the entire world. I think like LeBron's Miami and Cavs teams probably run through the entire world. Right? Like it's just it's not fair. Like it's a different game. But I'm pumped. I think LeBron's going to do it, right? And I think with that, that'll get everyone else to do it, and then we just go win the gold, and then conversation changes. But those are my thoughts and opinions, and as always, I pass the question on to you. Let me know yours down in the comments below. How do you feel? What do you think? Do you think, time to assemble the Avengers and go and smack everyone and show them who's who? Or do you think, no, like just send a couple guys, whatever, it's not that important. I feel whatever your thoughts are. Love to hear it. Let me know.